Hello, Eastern Region membership. I'm Amanda Hanslick, and I am the president-elect of our region. And I am so happy to be welcoming you all back to our series called Conference Conversations. This is something that we started last year for the national conference, so we could all get to know the members of our region who were presenting and singing and conducting and doing amazing things at our national conference in Cincinnati. And this year we're keeping it all going, and we're going to start this series with conductors who are bringing their choirs as our headlining inviting choirs for our conference in Providence. And today I could not be more thrilled to be welcoming Constance Chase, the conductor of the West Point Glee Club, to this conversation today. So, Constance Chase, welcome to our conference conversations. I'm so glad to have you here.
Amanda, I'm excited to be here. My friends call me Connie.
All right, then we will call you Connie because we are friends.
Yes, absolutely. You'll find me online as Constance.
Okay, great, great. Well, we're just so grateful that you are here today with us. So our membership can really just get to know you, get to know more about you, your choir, and what you'll be sharing with us at the conference. So for those of us who might not know you, can you just tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to choral music and how you're involved in our art form these days?
Sure. Like many other people, I grew up singing. We sang all the time. We sang at school. We sang at church. We got signed out of school to go sing for our parents' community club groups. We did. I always sang. I will have to tell you, however, I started my professional career as a band director, public school band director. I went off to UNC Greensboro, auditioned on piano and flute, and was accepted in both and majored in flute, and began my career as a very happy junior high school band director. Loved every moment of it.
That's amazing.
Yes. I spent a lot of years singing, conducting, playing, all of those things. Married someone in the Army who then we had a 20-year period of moving every 1 to 3 years. So between teaching, conducting, performing, I did a lot of everything.
Yeah.
And then when we settled down and he had finished his military career, I had had the opportunity just prior to that, when living in Heidelberg, Germany, to be told, why aren't you singing seriously? And so when we returned to the States, I pursued my graduate work in applied voice. And from there, I just became more and more engaged in the vocal world and the choral world. I taught applied voice as an adjunct professor at Western Connecticut State University for a number of years. I founded the Hudson Valley Chorale, which I then passed on to other conductors, and I conducted Connecticut Chamber Choir, a very fine semi-professional group in Fairfield County, Connecticut, for a number of years. I live in Connecticut, but my full-time job is as director of West Point Glee Club. I'm in my 25th year. I
Wow.
never would have dreamed when I
That's
started the position
amazing.
that it's been a joy to develop the program, to grow with the cadets, and to grow the program, and our experiences has been very exciting, very rewarding.
That is an amazing story. What a what a broad
Yes.
and deep career path for you with lots of discipline changes,
Yes.
location changes. I mean, like, wow, that is a really amazing story.
Well,
I
I
did
will
not
say,
know so much of that, Connie.
I will say to you, I'm delighted to hear you describe it that way, especially for young conductors,
Yeah.
because during the years that it was taking place, I only knew that I was doing whatever I could in the field that I love and was
Right.
made to be in. And
Right.
there were many times when it seemed as though I would never see anything through, that everything would
Mm,
be temporary and temporary.
right.
And I managed to leave out two important factors in there. During my undergraduate time at UNCG, even as a flute major, I took all of the additional courses in choral directing beyond what
Mm,
I was required for my music education degree, and had the opportunity to work with David Pegg, Dr. Richard Cox, who's just
mhm.
renowned in the field.
Yeah.
The training that I got there really enabled me to take advantage of the opportunities that arose. And then when I finally, at long last, had the chance to go back to grad school, I was just fortunate to have some connections made to link me up
Right.
with Shirley Emmons, who was the artist in residence at Hunter College, City
Mm,
University of New York at the
yeah.
time. She was a force to be reckoned with. And so I learned so much from her. And together she invited me to co-author a book about the voice in the choral setting, Prescriptions for Choral Excellence, and Oxford University Press. And that was an amazing. You kindly asked me before the interview if I were a doctor, Chase, and I'm not. And I have to say, there came a point in life, she offered me the opportunity to join her in that project.
Mhm.
And I had just finished master's degree. I was considering seriously going forward with the DMA. I knew I couldn't do both. I still had two young sons at home and lots of Army responsibilities still at the time, Army wife responsibilities.
Mhm.
And I made a conscious decision that when I thought about sitting with Shirley Emmons, researching with her, discussing all these issues for hours on end, which we did over a period of 8 years. And to this day, I'm grateful that I made the decision that I
Mm,
did.
that's great. Mm. Thank you so much for all of that.
Sure.
We are also curious about the West Point Glee Club. I'm hoping that you will tell us about your ensemble, tell us about your singers, and maybe we can get a little sneak peek into what they will be presenting and singing for us in Providence.
Absolutely. We are not your average or typical. There is no average college choir. We're all way above average. But we are not your typical college choir. As you may know, West
Hmm.
Point is officially called the United States Military Academy.
Hmm.
Students who are accepted to become cadets are in training to become commissioned officers in the United States Army. They
Hmm.
train for 4 years. They commission on the day of graduation. And in addition to a rigorous academic load, each cadet is responsible to maintain very high and daily measured standards in military training, physical training, and character development in addition to their academics. So it's a very rigorous program for the cadets.
Hmm.
They have very, very little discretionary time that they can choose what to do. So the
Hmm.
Glee Club is not accredited course. It's
Mm.
an extracurricular activity. However, it's an auditioned choir, and we serve as a support club. So we are the cadet musical ensemble that represents the academy
Mm.
across the country and through recordings and television appearances, even internationally.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, I that's amazing to learn that it's extracurricular, that it's not
Yes.
a course necessarily.
Right.
Um,
And so
are there other music courses available to the cadets, or is the Glee Club one of the like, I mean, I'm just curious about the other artistic
yes,
offerings for your cadets.
there are three other choirs. They are the gospel choir and two chapel choirs, and the chapel
Okay.
choirs serve as service choirs. There is
Sure.
a spirit band. There is a string ensemble, a very fine string ensemble. There is one course in the social sciences department
Hmm.
about music as a communications tool.
Okay.
which is a fabulous course. As you might guess, um, while there's a huge array of majors for cadets
Mhm.
because they are training specifically to be commissioned as lieutenants in the U.S. Army, a
Mhm.
music major is not among those.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But the Directorate of Cadet Activities, under which the Glee Club falls, maintains a really rigorous, vigorous program of cultural opportunities for cadets. There are over 150 clubs they can
That's
participate
amazing. Oh,
in.
that's so great.
Again, we're one of just a very small handful of support clubs. So
Okay.
we have a duty and a responsibility. We fulfill a number of ceremonial
Mm-hmm.
duties at West Point, and then of course we travel quite a bit.
Sure. So what can we expect from these cadets when we see them in Providence?
You can expect a lot of energy. You can expect a well-prepared program, some beautiful, expressive singing. So many of the cadets have come from very fine high school programs. And so I thank conductors all across the country. Our students come from all 50 states.
Yeah.
And so I'm always very grateful for the fine students I see coming through auditions each semester. Um, you can expect the thing that I always say about cadets is that they will always give to the nth degree. They will always give their absolute best, no matter what the circumstances are. So we're
Mm-hmm.
excited about that. We are particularly proud of this program because we're in collaboration with two other great ensembles.
Mm-hmm.
The Soldiers Chorus of the United States Army Field Band and Soldiers Chorus. They are a professional military ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to draw a quick distinction here so that everyone understands the professional military ensembles, both choruses and bands,
Mm-hmm.
are um, they are appropriated funded units. In other words, they are taxpayer funded. What a great use of
Mm-hmm.
using music as a communication tool to unite, to
Mm-hmm.
inspire, to encourage people. But the Glee Club, as a college activity at the United States
Yeah.
Military Academy, operates on donated funds. We have a very generous endowment that has been created and built up through the generous donations of our graduates of West Point. So there's a difference there in funding, important for
Sure.
people, for we as taxpayers to know, but
Mm-hmm.
also a difference in hardworking college choir pairing with a group of crackerjack professional musicians.
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited for the
Yeah.
cadets to have that opportunity. And we're
Yeah.
also going to be joined by a small chamber ensemble of instrumentalists,
Mm-hmm.
woodwind quintet, plus a trumpet, plus a percussionist. And they are being drawn from the West Point Band, which is
Okay.
the oldest continuous military band in U.S. history.
Wow. It's
We're excited.
amazing. Honestly, we are just so excited to be honestly witnessing this really interesting kind of niche part of our industry in a way of
Yes,
choral music within our military and in the student experience, but then transcending and connecting to a professional realm
yes.
is a really wonderful and interesting way that you have all brought it together and programmed for this headlining experience for the conference. So we're excited. We're just so excited. I think it's going to be great.
Well, we've been very excited about the Raise Our Voice theme, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what we're doing in this program.
Hmm.
American music,
Yeah.
and you'll be surprised at we have the Glee Club is going to do a fabulous premiere of a work that Dr. Ellen Gilson Voth has
Yes.
written for us and scored for that particular ensemble that we're
Oh,
bringing.
so exciting.
Yeah, we're thrilled about that. But either the arrangers or the composers themselves, just a broad array. And I think it's a
Great.
very exciting, moving program. We're excited to bring it to you.
We are excited to be in the audience and and be touched and inspired, by all of it. I'm ready for sure. Um, I've been thinking a lot just about, I mean, obviously we're all buried in the preparation for our
Yeah.
time together in Providence right now. Um, but ACDA, the experience of being a member of ACDA, uh, it's multifaceted, right? We use it for
Yes.
resource, we use it for connecting to colleagues, we use it for our regional and national conferences where we get to celebrate the amazing work and research of our colleagues.
Yes.
What is your first ACDA memory? When was your
You,
first conference? When did you
yeah,
first become connected? Because you were not a choir person forever. You were
exactly.
a
And I
band
have a
person.
gap.
So I'm so curious.
So I believe that my very first experience was as a flutist in the UNCG Wind Ensemble, performing under Dr. Cox's direction with the UNCG Chorale. And the
Oh,
piece that I remember, I don't remember the entire program,
oh my
but I
gosh.
remember it was a work by Dr. Jack Jarrett, whom we all had for theory, and a brilliant
Okay.
composer. And there are moments of that multi movement work that still sound in my ear from time to time. So I remember that vividly. We went to Williamsburg. I'm pretty sure that that conference was at William and Mary.
Wow.
Um,
So you were a
so
student.
I
You
was a
were a
student a
student and a
long time ago
flute player with the
as a
choir.
flutist. That's right. That's right.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious and
Ah.
amazing. I love that. So looking toward Providence then, what are you most looking forward to in
Several things. I'm
experiencing?
always, we all love the concert performances that our
Yeah.
colleagues bring to us
Hmm.
because we get a chance to sit back and listen and absorb and admire and learn from and grow
Yeah.
from what our colleagues are doing. That's always amazing.
Yeah.
The interest sessions, I love those, and I always find they're more than I want to attend than I possibly can attend.
Hmm.
I always come away from a conference inspired. And then, of course, just the passing friends that you haven't seen since the last conference or whatever.
Right.
And you, ideas begin to percolate.
Yeah.
This idea of our doing a joint performance for ACDA came about from a conversation that several of us had over coffee in Boston at the conference in Boston.
I
But
love that.
we had done a collaboration with the Soldiers Course and the U.S. Army Field Band out in Arizona several years
Hmm.
previously, and we're like, why don't we do this for ACDA? We should. Yeah.
Yeah.
So quite a different program than we did then, but I don't know. You see, I
It's
can't
great.
pick one thing. There are so
No,
many. Yeah.
no.
We also are doing an interest session where we share. I
Oh,
mentioned,
yeah, please share about that. Yeah.
yes, the field band's mission is to travel the United States and to be
Hmm.
ambassadors and
Hmm.
to be the face of the human face. We all, as musicians and choral directors, know that music has the power to unite. And when we bring that to bear, especially people sometimes have little experience with the military, or perhaps they have preconceived ideas about people in the military.
Right.
This unites us, makes the barriers, disappear when
Yeah.
we bring music to people. And so our session is going to be about connecting with the wide variety of audiences that the two ensembles engage with and how we do it.
That's
Um,
great.
we've developed some amazing ways to connect with the audiences that often are not reached. We've
Hmm.
learned how to get to places where people say, no, you couldn't really do anything.
Mm,
So we're looking forward to sharing those
that's so
ideas.
great.
And again, you've got a professional ensemble, a group of college students. So
Yeah, that's
different
right.
approaches, but exciting ones.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting.
Oh,
And we are looking forward to having you there. Connie, thank you so much for spending time with me today
my pleasure.
to
We've
give
both had
all
a
of
snow
this. This
day
is
today.
This is such a gift to our membership, and we're so grateful to you. We're grateful for all of the work that you do with all of these young people. And
Well, we're all privileged to do that, aren't we?
yes, but we are grateful to you for your wonderful contributions to our art form, to our region, and just for being part of our gathering together in Providence. And we just can't wait to see you there and cheer on
Thank
the West
you.
Point Glee Club.
We can't wait as well. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Thanks, Connie.
Bye.
See you soon.